Assalamu alaikum students. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about the nth term of the linear sequence, how we can find that out. In the previous lecture, I discussed that how we will be going on with the linear sequences for finding out the term-to-term rule, as well as if we want to find out the next terms of the sequence. But here we are going to deal with the nth term of the linear sequences. So nth term is basically a general term. By using that general term, you can just use to find out any term of the sequence. Like either you can find out the 100th term of the sequence, or either you can find out the 1000th term of the sequence. Like any term you can find out using that nth term of the sequence, that will be a general term. Okay, so every sequence can have the nth term, and this is basically the way to write down the nth term, that is a n plus b. At the place of a, there can be any number, either positive, either negative, and at the place of b as well, there can be any number. But n is basically representing the number of terms, like the n will be 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. First term, second term, third term, fourth term, and so on. So this is basically you can say the general way for writing the nth term of the linear sequence, and it's a n plus b. So let's go on with this. So moving on towards exercise 1.4b, in this they're saying for question number 1 up till 16, we needs to find the formula for the nth term of the sequence. So let's go on with the first one. The first sequence is 5, 9, 13, 17, and so on. Okay, as we are dealing with the nth term of the sequence, so obviously the sequence will be also the infinite sequence. So first of all, in this sequence, we need to find out a. Okay, as your general term for the sequence, linear term, nth term is a n plus b. So we need to find out the a, and a will be basically the difference, the common difference each time you are getting. So if the terms is basically having the similar common difference, that will be terms as your arithmetic sequence or the linear sequence. So let's find out the common difference first of all. So the common difference you will be finding by subtracting the second term and the first term. So you will be writing the second term first and next term, the first term after that. So 9 negative 5 will be 4. Again, finding one more common difference, 13 negative 9 will be also 4. So it means that your common difference is 4. So this common difference you need to multiply by n. Okay. So after that, here, as I told you before, that n is basically the numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So as they gave us only 4 terms, so we can only use the 4 n's over here. Here at the place of n, you can use these terms one by one, like 1, 2, 3, 4, and you will make another sequence. So for 1 times 4, for 2 times 8, for 3 times 12, for 4 times 16. After this, you will be doing in this way, that you are going to write down the sequence that they gave us already. And the sequence basically is 5, 9, 13, 17, and so on. Under this, you are going to write down the sequence that you made by 4n, and it's 4, 8, 12, 16. And after writing this sequence, you are going to subtract both of these sequences numbers, like 5 negative 4, it will be 1, 9 negative 8 is 1, 13 negative 12 is 1, 17 negative 16 as well as 1. So if you are getting exactly similar difference, so it means that this is basically the linear sequence. And for finding out the nth term of the linear sequences, we have 4n, and in this 4n, we need to add 1 to get the next term. So this is basically the way for finding out the nth term of any linear sequence. Okay. And this was your part number 1. So let's move on towards the part number 2, and you will be more clear. Part number 2 is we have the numbers 7, 10, 13, 16, and so on. First of all, again, we will be checking for the common difference, so we can find it out directly. Like adding 3, we will be getting 10. Adding 3, we will be getting 13. And adding 3, we will be getting 16. It means that the common difference is 3 each time. So 3 you need to multiply by n. And n is basically the numbers 1, 2, 3, 4, so on. So at the place of n now you will use these numbers, like first four numbers will be enough. So 3 1 times 3, 3 2 times 6, 3 3 times 9, 3 4 times 12. So what you will do now, first of all, we will be writing the sequence that they gave us already, and the sequence is 7, 10, 13, 16. And you will be writing the sequence that we just got as 3, 6, 9, 12. So we are going to subtract them again. So 7 negative 3 is 4, 10 negative 6, 4, 13 negative 9, 4, 16 negative 12 as well as 4. So the nth term of the sequence is 3n plus 4. Okay, so this is basically one of the easiest way to find out the nth term of the linear sequence. Okay, next is your part number 3. So let's go on with this. In part number 3, the sequence that they gave is 4, 9, 14, 19, and so on. So first of all, in this sequence, we need to find out the nth term, or the common difference we can just find out first. We need to add 5 to get 9. In 9 as well, if we need to check that, but we need to add 5 again to get the next term. And in 14 as well, we will be adding 5 to get 19. So that means the common difference is 5. Adding by 5 each time, we are getting the next term. So the sequence that we need to make is according to 5n. So at the place of n, we can use 1, 5 into 2, 5 into 3, 5 into 4, and so on. So 5 1 times 5, 5 2 times 10, 15, 20, and so on. So now we are going to write down the sequence that they gave us already, 4, 9, 14, and we have 19. And along with this, we are going to write down the sequence that we just got. We have 5, 10, 15, 20. So we are going to subtract all these terms together. So 4 negative 5, it's basically negative 1. This is also negative 1, 14 negative 15 as well as negative 1, and 19 negative 20 as well as negative 1. So the nth term of the sequence is 5n negative 1. Okay, so after this, randomly I'm picking some questions to show you that how we are going to find out the nth term of the sequence. Let's go on with the sixth one, as this is a decreasing sequence. So part number 6 is we have the sequence as 25, 22, 19, 16, and so on. So again, first of all, we need to find out the common difference, as the terms are basically the decreasing terms. So we need to subtract any number to get the next number. So if we will be checking 25 and 22, we need to subtract 3. Next, for this as well, we need to subtract 3 to get 19. And from 19 as well, we need to subtract 3 to get 16. So your common difference is negative 3. It means that each time we need to subtract 3 to get the next term. So for this, now we are going to make the sequence according to negative 3n. So negative 3 into 1, negative 3 into 2, negative 3 into 3, negative 3 into 4, and so on. So 3 1 times 3, 3 2 times 6, 3 3 times 9, 3 4 times 12. Okay, we got the sequence. Now we will be again writing the sequence that they give us already. We have 25, 22, 19, 16, so on. Under this, we are going to write down the sequence that we just got, negative 3, negative 9, negative 12. And we are going to subtract these terms as they already have the negative sign. So negative negative will be positive. So in 25, adding 3, it will be 28. 22 plus 6, it will be also 28, 28, and 28. So it means that the nth term of the sequence is negative 3n plus 28. This is your nth term for the part number 6. So part number 7, part number 7 is really easy. Like, this is basically the sequence, and they're showing us the multiples of 5, like 5, 10, 15, 20. So each are the multiples of 5, and we need 2 times by the next number. For getting the next number, we need 2 times by 2, then in this way we will be moving on. So all of these, as they are having the terms according to the multiples of 5, so we can write the nth term as 5n as well. For these kind of sequence, when they give some multiples, writing the nth term is really easy. Like for this, you can write down 5n, because n is 1, then 2, then 3, then 4. 5 1 times 5, 5 2 times 10, 5 3 times 15, 5 4 times 20. So your nth term of the sequence is 5n. Okay, so this is up till 7. Now let's move towards part number 9. In the part number 9, they gave us the sequence in the form of fraction. We have 1 by 2, 2 by 3, 3 by 4, 4 by 5, and so on. So in the numerator, you can check the terms are as 1, 2, 3, 4. So as I told you before, that n is basically representing the numbers as 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So we will be only taking the downward sequence to find out what is the nth term of the sequence. So downward numbers, as they gave us as 2, 3, 4, 5, and so on. So we will be checking the common difference. Each time we need to add 1 to get the next term of the sequence. So this is really easy. Like for these terms, when we need to only add 1, we are going to get the nth term as sequence as n plus 1. Okay, n plus 1. So accordingly, your nth term of the sequence, or for this I wrote this n plus 1, but as the terms has been given in the form of fraction, so your nth term basically will be in the numerator. We will be having only n, because n is basically representing these terms, and downward sequence is represented by n plus 1. So n by n plus 1 is your common, sorry, the nth term of the sequence. Next, for the 10th one as well, these are all the multiples of 7. So you can write the nth term as 7n. Okay, let's go on with one more sequence that has been given in the form of fraction. We have part number 12, 3 by 1, 4 by 2, 5 by 3, 6 by 4. So in the denominator, we have the terms as 1, 2, 3, 4. Again, they will be represented as 1, 2, 3, 4 as n, and the above the sequence that we have is 3, 4, 5, 6, and so on. Again, each time we need to add 1 to get the next term of the sequence, but as the starting terms has been given as 3, so let's find out that what will be like n, and according to n we need to add 2 each time to get the next term. Like n is 1, so you can check it in this way as well. They have been given us 3, 4, 5, 6, and n is 1, 2, 3, 4. After subtracting these all, we are getting 2 each time. So for that reason, the nth term for the denominator, for the numerator numbers will be n plus 1. So the nth term of the sequence for this one is n plus 1, n plus 2. Each time we need to add 2, because the common difference is 2. I wrote 1 here, but the common difference is 2. In this way we got. So n plus 2 by n. This is your nth term for the fraction part. So if they gave us the fraction part, or fraction terms have been given, so you can just find out the common difference. In this way, you can find out the nth term of the sequence for the numerator and denominator one separately. If they have given some of the terms like 1, 2, 3, 4 directly, you can write n, and rest of the sequence you can check it carefully. Okay, let's move on to the next one more question. Okay, let's go on with 16th, as they give some numbers with the negative sign. We have negative 4, 5, negative 1, we have 3, we have 7, and so on. So for this again, we are going to find out the common difference. First of all, in negative 5, I need to add 4 to get negative 1. In negative 1 as well, I need to add 4 to get 3. And in 3 as well, I need to add 4 to get 7. It means that the common difference is 4. So 4 I need to multiply by n, and n is basically 1, 2, 3, 4, and so on. So for 1 times 4, for 2 times 8, for 3 times 12, for 4 times 16, and so on. So first we will write down the sequence -5, -1, 3, 7, and so on. Downward we will be writing the numbers 4, 8, 12, 16, and so on. And we are going to subtract all these numbers. So negative negative is basically positive. -5 and -4 will be -9. Next, this one as well, -9, -9, -9. So the nth term of the sequence is 4 and -9. Like each time we need to subtract 9 to get the next term of the sequence. So these are all the sequences. Basically, these are the linear sequences. We need to just check the common difference, multiplying by n, getting a sequence, and then subtracting that sequence from the previous one given sequence, and you will be getting the nth term. Moving on towards part number 17. In this part, they have given that write down the each sequence and then find out the nth term. So let's go on with the A part. This one is exactly similar, like similar steps you will be going on with. So 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. So let's find out the common difference. We need to add 2 each time to get the next term of the sequence. So your common difference is 2. So 2 you need to multiply by n, and we will be finding out the sequence using 2n. So to 1 times 2, to 2 times 4, to 3 times 6, to 4 times 8, to 5 times 10, and so on. So after this, we will be writing the given sequence first. We have 8, 10, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. Under this, we will be writing the given sequence that we have 2, 4, 6, 8, 10. And we are going to subtract these all. So 8 negative 2 is 6, 6, 6, 6, and 6. So your nth term of the sequence is 2n negative 6. Okay, so in this way, this is also like exactly similar question to the previous one, these that we have done. So hope so this one is getting clear. Okay, let's go on with one more part for part number 17. As we have this one C1 parts, let's go on with this. We have 8, 13, 18, 23, and so on. First of all, again, we will be checking the common difference. So in 8, I need to add 5 to get 13. In 13 as well, I need to add 5 to get 18, and here as well. So my common difference is 5. So the sequence that I need to get is according to 5n, and it will be 5 1 times 5, 5 2 times 10, 5 3 times 15, 5 4 times is 20, and so on. So accordingly, first I'm going to write down the sequence. I'm using another color, so this will be clear that from where I'm getting the next sequence, and the step is basically having a bit change. Under this, we are going to write down the sequence that I made with 5n, and it's 5, 10, 15, 20, and we are going to subtract these all. So 8 negative 5 is 3, 13 negative 10 is 3, 18 negative 15 as well as 3, and 23 negative 20 is as well as 3. So my nth term of this sequence is 5 and negative positive 3. As our number at the end is positive, then I need to go on with 5 and plus 3. So this one is basically the C part for part number 17. Now in 18th part, what they're saying that you need to write down each sequence and write the formula for Tn, and Tn is basically representing the nth term of the sequence that I told you before. So here again, we will be going on with the similar one working. Let's go on with 18th part A. We have the terms as 11, 19, 27, and 35. So let's find out what is the common difference in between these terms. First of all, in 11, I need to add 8 to get 19. In 19, I need to add 8 to get 27. And in 27 as well, I need to add 8 to get 35. It means that I need to go on with 8 and as my sequence, the next sequence. So that will be 8 1 times 8, 8 2 times 16, 8 3 times 24, and 8 4 times 32, and so on. So after this, I'm going to write down the given sequence first: 11, 19, 27, 35, so on. And under this, I'm going to write down the sequence that we just got is 8, 16, 24, 32, and I'm going to subtract these all. So 11 negative 8, first of all, we will be going. 11 negative 8 is basically 3. 19 negative 16 is 3. 27 negative 24 is 3. 35 negative 32 as well as 3. So your nth term for this is 8 and positive 3. So this is your nth term for the A part of your 18. Next, let's go on with the B1 part. And in this B part, they gave us some mixed terms. So let's find out 2 into 1 by 2, 4 into 1 by 2, 6 into 1 by 2, 8 into 1 by 2. So if I'm going to find out the common difference again, 4.5 and negative 2.5, it will be 2. The common difference, like we need to add 2. Again, we need to add 2, and here as well, we need to add 2. So we need to make a sequence by 2n. So to 1 times 2, to 2 times 4, to 3 times 6, to 4 times 8, and so on. So accordingly, we will be taking this one sequence that they gave us, that is 2.5, 4.5, 6.5, 8.5. And under this, we are going to write down the sequence that they gave us already, that we just got, and we are going to subtract it, and we are going to get only half. So in this way, the common difference again is 2n plus 1 by 2. So this one is also the common difference, 1 by 2. Next, C1 part is a decreasing sequence or increasing. Yeah, this is again an increasing sequence because the terms are increasing. So let's go on with the C part. In C part, we have the terms as negative 7, negative 4, negative 1, 2, 5. So first of all, again, let's find out the common difference. In negative 7, I need to check that what I need to add to get 4. I need to add 3 to get 4. Then again, I need to add 3 to get negative 1, adding 3, adding 3. It means that the sequence that I need to make it is according to 3n. So 3 1 times 3, 3 2 times 6, 3 3 times 9, 3 4 times 12, and so on. So now we are going to make the sequence using these terms that we have already. We have negative 7, negative 4, negative 1, 2, 5. And under this, we are going to write down the sequence that we just got is 3, 6, 9, 12. And now we are going to subtract these also. Negative 7 and negative 3 will be negative 10. Here as well, negative 10, negative 10, negative 10. So nth term of the sequence is 3 and negative 10. This.